Cheifet. Well, just about everybody has a camcorder these days, and many video buffs have already moved up to digital video cameras, or DV cams. The problem is, what do you do with all this video once you've shot it? I'm sure you've all had to sit through those horrible, unedited home videos. Thanks to the PC, though, you can now do amazing things with your video using your computer as an editing station. What we're going to do today is show you how to make movies on your computer. The first step in the process, of course, is to shoot some video, so we'll start out by looking at some of the basic choices in cameras. And here to help us do that is the author of this book, Digital Video for Dummies, just out, Marty Doucette. Welcome, Marty. And you actually have some software bundled in here, editing software.
On the CD, we have Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator, Premiere, and After Effects. People can learn how to do digital editing from the book.
Okay, let's talk about cameras now. We happen to have 3 Canon cameras here. We're not recommending Canon, but it's a good example of the different levels of cameras. And we'll start out with the Allura. It's been very well regarded, well rated, but this is sort of the bottom line camera here for a digital video camera. First of all, we ought to explain that, I guess. What's the benefit of a digital video camera as opposed to an analog camcorder?
Well, digital video is all ones and zeros. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. And so once you've recorded on digital video, you maintain the same digital quality throughout the entire life of the editing and back onto the tape.
So basically better quality, in particular if you're going to move to a computer where you want it to be in digital format.
Right, and independent of which, it doesn't matter which camcorder you're dealing with, they're all working off the same standard, the IEEE 1394 standard.
All right, so let's talk about the Allura then, and why would I want to buy this particular camera? What are the features?
Well, this Allura is, first of all, it's compact. And it's
small?
You can literally fit it in your purse if you want to.
Right.
I don't carry a purse, but you know what I mean. And in addition to that, it, like I said, it's able to take a full-size mini
And they all
DV tape.
use the same cartridge,
60
basically.
minutes, right. It's a single chip camcorder, which is how the price is maintained. But the value of this is that it has a progressive scan, which is really good for people that are into web authoring.
So that's a form of scanning which would be most appropriate for publishing your video on the web?
It's the best because it doesn't work with fields, it deals strictly with frames.
So if you're interested in putting your video on the web, that's really the best choice for you.
This is a good one, right.
What does this cost?
That's about $1,600.
Got it. All right, let's move up the chain then to our next guy, which would be the GL1 over here. And tell me, first of all, how much would this one be? How much more money?
This one's about $2,500.
All right, why would I spend more money for this camera?
Well, first of all, the main thing is it's 3 chip rather than 1 chip.
Meaning?
That means that whatever you're able to be able to collect with 1 chip, you're doing it times 3. You're collecting image for the R, the G, and the B.
All right, so 1 chip for each of the primary colors, better quality going in again.
Right, and as a result, you're getting a really high-end kind of digital video signal to start out with. But in addition to that, there's a lot of production quality.
Yeah, it looks like it has better lens, number one.
It has what Canon calls a fluorite lens. This is their latest technology. They've really found a way to increase the chrominance. And one of the big problems people were saying about digital was the fact there wasn't a good chrominance quality. They've overcome that with this particular camcorder. It also has some production value in that it also can get into being able to control the individual settings, such as you can control aperture with this.
So a little more manual control.
Manual control, totally. If you want to control shutter control, it'll do the whole job.
Would this be appropriate for doing sort of medium-level professional kind of shooting?
It's a good one for videographers, for instance, for people training videos, people that get into event videography.
So better than the consumer vacation stuff, but not really high-end quite yet.
It's very good. I mean,
a lot of 3CCD is good lens.
It's not broadcast quality in some of the features, but it definitely is the quality.
All right, let's go up to the next step, and this is a very popular baby with, I know, a lot of our crew guys who shoot professionally, and this is the XL1.
This is the XL1.
And what price again here?
We're looking at something around the $4,500 range.
It looks more like a really professional camera here.
Right.
And what do we get here for the extra money?
Well, first of all, one of the things that Canon is proud of is the fact that you get to have an interchangeable lens. This is a 16:1 lens, which can be taken up to a much higher magnification through digital, but it is an interchangeable. You can go to wide angle.
Comes with, again, big lens, better lens, and interchangeable capability.
Exactly.
What else?
Well, this also has all of the digital video has PCM quality sound, but this also has manual control of sound, which means that you can get into changing a number of the features of your sound. Plus, this particular camcorder can get into what's called balanced sound, which means that you can actually get into XLR kind of quality.
So not only better video, better audio in this guy. Turn it around too, because I see you have a wireless mic operation in there. You can actually use this with a wireless microphone.
That kind of brings up a whole different issue, and that is that there's an entire industry being built around this XL1.
This particular camera.
It's so popular. For instance, this is a receiver that was made specifically for the XL1, feeding an XLR or a balanced input into audio into the camcorder.
Why don't you pump its menus up here so we can take a look at some of the options and ways you can set the XL1 up.
I'd be glad to. This gives you an ability, I'll just turn it on here, and if you just press the menu function, you're actually be able to get into, let me just point it away a little bit here.
Okay.
You get into being able to control a number of the features just like most other professional camcorders.
So you have different audio modes.
16:9 if you want to go to that.
Zebra pattern if you want it.
You can, yeah, all the kind of functionality that makes it possible for you to do some high-end video.
Yeah. So now with all these cameras, you can also take digital stills, right?
Right. Well, this is a very good medium for being able to snap a photo and be able to get
in fact, we have an example of a picture right here taken with one of these cameras, and you don't have to buy two cameras, right?
It's a high, almost a high-resolution print.
All right. Thanks for the guidance.
My pleasure.
All right, Marty. Well, once you've shot the video, the next step is to get it into your computer. One way to do that is with a video capture card. And here to help explain how we dump video onto our hard drive is Sarah Lynn Levine of Matrox. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Okay, now we were talking digital video, FireWire, IEEE, and all that stuff. This is the sort of more consumer level. If you just have the plain analog camcorder and you still want to edit and do nice stuff on your PC, you can do it now by using something like this.
Absolutely. Matrox has introduced two flavors of our G400 card. This is what's nice about this is that you have something called dual head, and for the Marvel, which is what we have here today, your primary output is your monitor, your secondary output is your TV. For someone who is more for the business market, you can choose between two monitors, a monitor and TV.
All right, so one step at a time. You buy the card, you
Yep.
put the card in,
Yes.
that enables us to get your video in, and what you're saying, you can also look at your editing operation in both a television monitor to see what it really looks like and a computer at the same time?
Absolutely. With the Marvel here, you have your primary output, which is your monitor, your secondary output is your TV.
So this would be like a professional environment where you might have the computer for the editing controls, but a real TV monitor to look at the video.
Right, and it's a consumer type setup or a professional type setup that's brought down for the consumer. We've made it really easy to use.
Now it comes with this breakout box,
Right.
and what's the point in this?
The breakout box is really a way that you don't have to crawl around on your hands and knees behind your PC. As you see here, we have the camera plugged in.
All right, so you don't have to go sneaking behind the computer to plug all the wires, and you have an external box to do that with.
Everything's color-coded. You know, yellow is for your video, red is for your audio. You've got video in, video out. It connects to your monitors. It's really easy to use.
All right, so we have a basic camcorder set up here. Just show us what the process would be. You've got all your Matrox stuff in there. I want to now take video and dump it onto my hard drive from my camcorder.
We're using Avid Cinema, which is a really easy-to-use consumer.
Comes bundled with it?
Comes bundled with it, video editing software. We're in the storyboard mode. Once you bring your video in, we have a live feed going on right now, and it's just a matter of plugging in your VCR.
And there's the live TV picture.
Yeah, and it's as easy as that. All you do.
Okay, it happens to be live, but obviously you could have shot video, come back, roll the tape off, and dump it in your computer.
Your kid's birthday party, your kid's vacation, your school trip, anything you want to do,
So basically, it's as simple as plugging in the cables to your breakout box and playing the tape, and then dumping it in your
Absolutely,
your PC.
And all you do, it's two easy buttons, record and stop, and we are actually recording video right now, so we can see the crew, we can see everybody around.
Okay, let me ask you one thing now. What you do, I understand that's different here, is you actually do editing in hardware as opposed to software. What does that mean, and explain why that's better?
Well, why it's better is that two reasons. First of all, you're not dependent on the CPU speed. So if you don't have a P3500 or the latest and greatest system.
We're using your board really for that?
Right. All of the rendering, all the compressing and decompressing of video is done by the graphics card, not by the CPU.
So you don't have to invest in a big computer.
Right. So the minimum system requirement for this is a P2233, which is great because your install base is much wider for that. The other reason that hardware is better than software is because your image quality is going to look better. You're going to spend 3 hours making a movie. You don't necessarily want your quality to look better. You're not going to have drop frames or bleeding or poor image quality.
So let's go into your Avid Cinema. Again, this is the editing software. Now I'm confused. This is editing software, but you're editing in the hardware? This is just sort of a control
The Avid
interface?
Cinema is the sort of holding your hand through the whole process. Avid has made it very easy to do the video editing by going through.
But if you've got this card, you're really doing, again, the hardware editing inside the board here.
Exactly.
All right, so just give us a brief intro. I've got the video in now. I think you have some clips you put in before.
What we've done is, if we go into our edit mode, I had downloaded some clips before we got here, and it's just a matter of starting off your video. You can see on this little window here what your video looks like, but you can see a full
dual head
screen.
Operation there.
Exactly. Avid also allows
So you had like little effects here. That's part of the software.
Transitions, titles, sound effects. You know, you can do in voiceovers, and here is us just added
That's
in.
a piece you shot before.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so again, basically you buy this Matrox setup, which gives you the breakout box, gives you the software, gives you the board, and you're ready to do videos on your PC.
Absolutely.
With a plain old-fashioned analog camcorder.
Yes. You can use a camcorder, you can use a VHS tape, you have a variety of different choices.
Not appropriate for a DV cam, right?
No.
Gotcha.
No.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, coming up next, we'll look at the new iMac DV, the new PowerMac G4, and some very impressive editing software from Apple. For creative types ever since the days of the early Macs and desktop publishing. And when it comes to video, the pros still look to Apple for a powerful editing platform. In fact, there are two new Macs that are killers for working with video. We're going to start with the iMac DV, and John Bass of Apple is here to show it to us. First of all, what is it about the DV version of the iMac that makes it so right for working with video?
Two key things. The first is iMac DV has FireWire port in it, so we can plug into our FireWire cameras. And the second, it's got a program installed called iMovie.
All right, so ready to roll. All right, so let's show how you would use this. Let's show how easy it is actually to get the video into your iMac DV.
Great, so we've got the digital camera here. We've also got the FireWire camera, or the cable that comes with iMac DV.
So out of the camera and just plug right into the iMac.
Just hot plug it. Computer's on, the software's running. I'm just going to plug it in, and then as soon as we turn our camera on, iMovie instantly recognizes that camera is attached, and now we can start controlling that camera.
So you want to start dumping some video into your hard drive.
That's how we begin. In the past, it's always been hard. With iMovie, it's pretty simple. We just click this import button here.
And the fact is you can remote control your camera is what you're doing there.
Absolutely. The camera has just entered play mode. It's starting to transmit the video across our FireWire cable. It's going straight into the computer, being recorded on the hard disk.
Got it.
iMovie's even doing automatic
now it's auto-scening it over there.
Right, right. All the different scenes. Every time that you press the start stop
button. So it
button.
recognizes a button switch in the video itself.
Exactly, and it's just dropping these into the well here.
All right, so let's take it to the next step. You've got your iMovie software built in. We want to start to build a movie now. I start to pick shots and want to lay them down this timeline. How do I do that?
Simply, we just grab our first clip up here in the shelf, and we can of course preview that clip in the shelf to see what's going on. If there's even extra footage in this clip that we don't want to use, right, we just grab that extra footage and press the delete button. So cut, copy, and paste type video editing here.
All right, so you lay shots down on your time. How do you determine what the transition is going to be from shot to shot?
Well, so we've trimmed this video. Let's just drop it into the timeline here. So I'm just going to drop this particular clip
between those two frames,
between a couple of scenes, and then you're right. It's time to put these transitions in here. So we go to our transitions palette. We've got a scrolling list of our different transitions in here. I simply click the one that we want to use, like a push right transition, and it previews it in our palette.
Right.
We can click the preview button to see it on screen, but to actually use it, we just drag that transition down between the two particular clips.
That's what I want to get from that sequence to the next sequence.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to titling. How do you create titles in iMovie?
Move to the titles palette here. We've got another scrolling list of different titles that we can use. So you simply click on the title that you want. Here, I'll select a different one.
All right, I think you can create an original one and type it in.
You bet, and let's go in here and just in this text entry field, we'll go ahead and type our text. So we'll say, what really happened, ... Okay, and then to use this particular title, we just grab the title and we drag it down here to our timeline, just like we did our transitions.
All right, now what about dealing with audio and sound effects and music and so on?
Exactly. Let's move over to our timeline again, and I'm going to switch into our second palette here.
Okay,
the second
so the
palette,
see audio. Okay.
Right, the blue line at the top is the audio that came in with the video that we're using.
That was the sync audio that went with the video?
Exactly. If you want to bring in music from an audio CD, we can simply go to our music panel here. I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit so it's not too loud for us. And we click on the track that we want to use.
You're going to track off an audio CD that's in there.
Exactly. And you click the record music button. Now what's going to happen is the CD player starts playing. I can hear the music. We can also see the video as it's happening on screen, so we can synchronize
sync up the music. What about sound effects? Can you sync up sound effects with the video?
You bet. Let me just trim this audio back a little bit so I don't have so much of it coming into the
that's obviously a spot where you might want a crash sound or something.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
You didn't have it.
So I'll move to my sound effects palette, and we've got all of our different sound effects here. I'll just grab a drum roll, and we'll just drop a drum roll down here into the timeline. I'm going to make sure that crash sound effect is just lining right up with the title that we rendered a few minutes ago. Okay, so we've dropped our different music effects in here, our sound effects, we've got our titles and our transitions. We've created a complete movie.
So we're going to play the movie? That was pretty quick.
Let's play it right out.
Play the movie, all right.
Just click the full screen display button.
Here's your title.
Yep.
Here's your music. Here's your video.
You'll see our first transition here in just a moment. It's a push right.
Okay, so that was that transition. There you go.
There we go.
Push right over there.
That's right. So now once you've created your movie here, the magic then comes from getting it out of your computer and back to the camera. That's where DV really comes in handy. We can send it right back out that
Bring it
same
right back into
FireWire
the
cable
camera and
and
put it
record
on
it
tape.
right back to tape, carry it to grandma's
That's
house.
dynamite. What does this whole operation cost if I want an iMac DV and want to do what you just showed me?
iMac DVs start at $12.99. The special edition that we're working on is $14.99.
What does that add, special edition?
The special edition has twice the amount of memory. It's 128 megabytes, a little bit larger hard
What's a hard
drive,
drive?
13 gigabytes,
Oh, wow.
and it also comes in the cool graphite color.
Okay, thank you very much.
You bet.
Very
Thanks a
impressive.
lot.
Okay. Well, if you're really serious about creating videos on a computer, you need lots of storage, of course, a really fast processor, and high-end editing software. Well, we have it right here. It's the new PowerMac G4 and Apple's new video editing software called Final Cut Pro. Andrew Baum of Apple is going to be our tour guide. Andrew, all right, so we're talking high-end here now, really professional level video production,
That's
right?
correct. Professional editing effects and
Okay,
compositing.
what do we get from the G4 that we didn't get, say, on the iMac DV?
Well, the G4 has a velocity engine, so it basically has an enhanced performance for video and graphics, so you'll get better rendering and better performance.
And faster stuff in general.
You got that
Okay. And the software we're using is called Final Cut Pro, and this is really high-end stuff, professional editing environment too.
That's right. It's professional editing effects and compositing for people doing broadcast, traditional broadcast for TV as well as web broadcast.
All right, so show us how we would use Final Cut Pro here on the G4, and just show us building up a typical movie sequence like we saw before with John.
Okay, for example, here I've got a piece and I've already got an in point here, and what I'm going to do is put a duration. I'm going to go right up here, put a duration, 1.33, hit return, and what happens here, it automatically puts an out point. So I'm only going to use this
So
portion.
you told
of
it
the
how
clip.
long you want that scene to be. It automatically puts the in and the out in there, or you had the in there, it adds the out automatically.
That's
Okay.
correct. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it over, and you see an edit palette automatically pops up.
Okay, so different ways now you have choices of putting in that piece of video, which are what?
That's correct. You have an insert, overwrite,
Insert, just drop it in.
Right, or
Overwrite,
overwrite.
replace a previous sequence.
right, replace, and then you can also do fit to fill, which will fill a
Means
gap.
if you have a gap to space with nothing in it, it'll create the shot to fill that space for you.
That is correct. And a superimpose, which you are compositing
Lay
a
one
different
picture
layer.
on top of another
That's right.
picture. Okay, so which one do you want to do?
So in this situation, I'm going to do an insert, and all these different functions can be done by the keyboard or from a drag-down menu too. So I've inserted it right here, and now I'm going to open another clip. This is a clip where I've done a 3-point edit just for time's sake. I've
All right,
already
let's
done.
explain 3-point edit.
Okay.
It's like an L cut where the audio comes in and the video comes in later. Is that what you mean?
That's exactly
And you
correct.
can do that.
Yes. So all I have to do is I can go up here, and you can do mark split, video in and video out.
Okay.
Or I could just do a control tab and do it right here too. So here we have the audio comes in.
So this is a soundbite, sort of. You want to get him talking over the video and then come to the picture of the guy talking.
That's exactly right, Stuart. So then both here at the end, the audio and video comes out at the same time. So I'll just slide it right into the timeline, and you'll see that the audio starts right here
Can we play
before
that
the
and hear
video.
it?
You sure can. There's the audio, and
got
there's
it.
the audio and video
Got it.
together. And what I'm doing here is you're seeing a representation on the computer monitor. Simultaneously, you are seeing an NTSC broadcast
Coming out of
version
here.
coming
Yeah.
out of the camera, which you could actually put out to your
Right.
NTSC monitor.
Now, as I understand it, one of the things you can do here with Final Cut Pro is actually plan it out ahead of time, create a storyboard, and then grab the entire storyboard down into your timeline?
That's exactly right. So I'm going to open a storyboard right here that I've already done.
So you already pre-selected all these shots and the sequence and the order and so on.
That's correct. It's like a book where I read left to right, top
Yeah.
to bottom. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select all the 34 clips I have. Some have audio attached, some don't, some are a few
It's going
frames.
to carry all that information down to the
Correct.
timeline.
I'm going to take it all to the timeline, drag it right in, and I just brought 34 different clips.
That was it.
Right there.
That saved you a heck of a lot of time.
It did. Now I need some audio. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open an audio file here, and you can edit up to 1/100th of a frame.
All right,
For
so a lot
audio.
more power over the audio here
Exactly.
in Final Cut
I can
Pro.
keyframe and control it. We have filters to control
How many
that.
tracks can you lay down here?
You can do 99 tracks of audio, but you
Wow.
can nest it so you can actually unlimited tracks of
Okay.
audio and 99 tracks of video.
All right, so lay down some audio for
So
us.
right
What
now
would
I
you
have
add?
2 tracks of audio, but Final Cut Pro is pretty smart, so I can just drag the audio right in, and it sees that I need 2 more tracks, and it creates them automatically. So let's just play back what I've done in like 4 moves. So you've got the audio track right there. And then you have several different video clips with audio.
This is that whole storyboard thing you laid down
That's
before.
correct. So let's stop it right here. Say I wanted, for example, a transition.
Yeah, exactly. What choices do we have there?
I can just do a control click. There's many different ways. I could do keystrokes, I could do pull down menus, but I've just done a control click here, and I've added a transition, and it's going to put...
Now, how did it know what transition to add?
It's using my favorite, the default.
So it has a default transition
That's correct.
there. Okay.
That's a cross dissolve.
Across dissolve.
And I can double click on that transition right here, and it actually opens in the transition window, and I can control the length right here, and I control different parameters. This transition was actually written in our scripting language.
So you can create your own new transitions.
That's
inside
correct,
Final Cut Pro.
and effects. So say I wanted a different transition, I can just go to a different tab here, the effects tab, and I can go to, we have dozens of transitions.
Got it.
I can snap to it, take a cube spin, just drag it right in, and you'll see a cube spin there, and you'll see different controls. I can start and finish it. I can put a border with different colors. I can change the length once again, and once again, this was written in our own scripting text format.
Now, one other cool thing I want you to show us is the ability to do really high-end compositing here and really add layer and layer. Show us how you would do that.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up a file this is a Photoshop file that we've imported, and we've maintained each independent layer.
So that's what we see at the bottom there. Each layer is a separate line.
Right, exactly.
So you can do anything you want with each one of those letters.
Right, so I can put filters on, I can do motion. So I'm going to take the S, which is a separate layer, and put a keyframe there. Then I'm going to go forward in time, put another keyframe, and what I can do is I can actually drag that S down.
So you're really going to animate that S in the end of the title.
That's correct, and I have a motion
control path,
and I can actually control the acceleration right there. And let me just go back to the beginning, and you can play back what I just did so you can get an idea. And there you go, that S, I can have it spin, I can do everything.
Right.
Now I could just open this up. Let's get it into broadcast quality right here, how it would look and not in wireframe. Now let me double click on that specific S, and what I can do is actually go to the filters, and I can go to, say, for example,
like ripple it or something?
Yeah, ripple. Let's go for ripple. I could just drop it right into the filters tab, and you'll look at the S, and
it's rippled.
Rippled just the S. And
all right, real quick, you've got a PowerBook G3 over there. Before we run out of time here, you can actually do all of this on a PowerBook and go on the road and do the same kind of editing?
That's correct. For pretty much the first time, you can do editing, effects, compositing.
Let's just grab this out here in the middle.
And I'll just play it right there.
And that's the same deal.
Yep. So right now there's no wires. Basically we have a newer technology's FireWire card, and I can plug the camera right in.
Right.
I can do editing, effects, compositing, and bring it on.
That's dynamite. Last question, exporting. Where can you take this to?
But basically you can take it to any professional format, and what I will show you is right here. I go right here, and I can go export, and let's get it to the QuickTime format.
I got it.
And I can basically have all the different codecs I want to do, and so forth. Thank you very much.
All righty, that's our look at digital movie making. I'll be back in just a moment with my pick of the week. Don't go away. Now for my pick of the week. Well, we've been looking at digital movies. Now I want to show you the newest in digital books. For years we've been hearing about electronic books and magazines. The internet has done some of that, but face it, you don't really want to read a book on your computer. Well, there is now a new electronic book that goes further toward being the real solution to paperless reading than anything I've seen before. This is the Softbook. It's about the size of an average computer magazine. It weighs only around 3 pounds, and it is really easier to read than paper. Let me show you. It features full-size magazine pages, so there's no squinting, and if the print is too small, just click one button and you get larger print. It preserves the page-turning metaphor of paper books by letting you simply click and turn the pages forward or backward. You can dog-ear a page just by tapping in the corner over here, and you can do things with the Softbook that you cannot do with a paper book. Can't remember the last reference to that character? Just search for it. When was the last time that name was mentioned in the book? Just hit select and previous. You can highlight text, even make your own handwritten notes. What's really great about the Softbook is you can download books from the net without a computer. The Softbook has a built-in modem, so you just plug into a phone line and download your reading. It holds about 5,000 pages, so you can carry around the equivalent of about 20 books. And you can actually publish in the Softbook format. This could become MP3 for authors. For more information, go to softbook.com. That's it for this edition of the Chronicles. Thanks for joining us. Check out my weekly web radio show talking about this week. Just hit the radio link on the About.com homepage. We'll see you here next time.